Hey guys, welcome back. Well, GT4 Mustang is finally done, boys and girls. It turned out pretty good. Um, it was a nice kit to build, as every Tamiya kit is to build, and this one was no exception. It was flawless from beginning to end, even with the modifications we've done to it, and we'll run through that again with you in a sec. So we started with a basic kit. I 3D printed some Cobra wheels for it. Had a tough time figuring out wheel finish, but finally decided on kind of a matte aluminum kind of a look for them. I put some photo etched brake rotors on it. I 3D printed some Brembo calipers. They're going to be up on the site soon as I get my model car garage photo etch brake rotors in stock for you guys to sell, and that I can get some diameters pinned down on what their diameter their rotors are, which they don't tell you on the site. So I'll have that up on the site as well, the diameter of the rotors, and then we can pick out some Brembo calipers that we can put on those for you guys too. What else did we do? We've got it lowered as much as I can get it lowered. I had to make some modifications to the suspension to get the wheels, of course, to fit because they're not the stock wheels. Other than that, the outside is pretty much stock. Other than, of course, I didn't do it as the race livery like the box. I wanted to build a street/track car, something that the guy can drive Monday to Friday and maybe take it to the track on the weekend and go for a rip. That was the theme behind it anyway. And of course, we painted it it's a Testers. I think it's number 1126. It's a tangerine orange. And believe it or not, it's the same color I did I think it's a 61 Impala that we did a while back. Same color. I really like it. And in my opinion, if you're going to paint a car orange or yellow, it's got to be bright orange or bright yellow. So what we decided we were going to do, we did a little stripe carried it on from the hood louvers or the grills on the hood to follow the stripe across the hood and down the front fender, and try and follow this body line for this inset in the fender door and continuation to the quarter panel. So that was the attempt there, to try and follow that line from the louvers right down through the fender. And we got it lowered as much as we can get it lowered, boys and girls. What else did we do? Kit comes with a complete side window, but I cut the rear wing windows off of it. And we're going to pretend like the windows are rolled down, just so I can see better detail of the inside of it. So we did that to both sides. I was debating whether I was going to leave the passenger side window rolled up or rolled down, but I decided I'd do both windows the same. So if we give you a spin around first and let you get a gander how we finished off here. And I typically don't clear coat my cars. Probably the main reason that I don't do that is I find that when I did do clear, I'd use the Testers gloss clear coat. But I found when I did chrome foiling, the chrome foil would actually lift the sections of the clear coat off the body. So typically what I do now is I try and do a half decent paint job, and what I get is what I get. I don't polish it. I don't clear coat it. When I paint my models, I prime them typically, but I don't use a standard primer. All I use is either Testers flat white, flat black, or flat gray. And other than seam lines that I sand out and parting lines, I don't prep my bodies in any way. I don't wet sand them or anything like that to prep them. Basically, just make sure they're clean, make sure the seam lines are out of it, and just go ahead and spray it with a primer coat of Testers. And of course I use an airbrush. And I don't like this pedestal. What else did we do? We cut the hood open because we planned on putting one of Iceman's Coyote motors that we put in here and machined some pulleys for it. We'll give you a gander of that in a bit. We'll swing around the back again. Hang on. But other than that, the kit was a dream to build. Everything went together. Everything fits like a glove. And as I mentioned before, I wish Tamiya would, on their kits, they would come out with complete engine bays and complete engines. I'd pay more if they did that at the same quality they do the rest of the kit. I'd be all over that. But anyway, we worked around it and kind of did some hijiggery pokery, and we got a motor shoved in it. It turned out good. We'll get you up and we'll have a gander at what we did in the engine bay of this baby. Hold on. And as I mentioned in my previous video, we left the extension tab on the front of the hood. It helps to align it and support the front of the hood rather than rely on it to lay on the headlight buckets, because of course the headlight buckets support the front end of the hood as well. So I had to make sure I glued those in with the hood taped in place, so that the headlight buckets would line up to the hood once I put the hood back on it, and it fits into a couple of notches in the back side of the hood. Hang on, we're going up. Coming down. There we go. All right, get the hood out of the way. So we got one of Iceman's, excuse me, one of Iceman's Coyote supercharged motors in it. Got one of my little 3D printed K&N air filters on it. Just used some solder for a tube from the throttle body down to the air cleaner. 3D printed a firewall for it. Should have made that a little bit taller, and as I mentioned, I cut this notch out basically to fit the indentation, or the portion that sticks out here for the passenger side wiper pivot, which I found that after I got everything together and painted, I really didn't need to cut this notch out of here. But anyway, next time we'll make it a little bit higher and straight across the top. What else did we do? Got a brake master in there, MSD ignition. I've got a couple of windshield washer container and a rad overflow tank on it. Machined some little filler caps for those as well. Did a pulley set and serpentine belt setup for the engine as well. They're up on the site now, guys, if you want to tackle that. It takes a little bit of patience to get those aligned and spaced out, but it's a doable thing. 3D printed a rad support for it, radiator, machined a little rad cap for it. Those are up on the site as well. But it was a nice kit to build. Bottom side's not much to look at. Hang on one sec. Not much to look at there. Silver and black. But yeah, it was a nice kit. I'll give you another spin around. Hang on. Get the hood back on. Get some more light. There we go. I like the aggressive stance of Mustangs. They just have it has such a mean looking front end to them. And if you guys are going to tackle putting one of these Iceman Coyote motors in here, you're going to have to do a couple of things to make it fit in this kit. Of course, besides cut the hood open. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to file down the front of the oil pan to get clearance for the hood. But you can't go down too far, otherwise you're going to run into problems when you put this lower valence and air spoiler setup, whatever you want to call it, on the front end and the front belly pan that goes underneath. The other thing you're going to do is, sorry Joel, is you're going to have to lose the oil filter off the motor as well, because it's going to hit the undercarriage of the subframe in this. So don't tell anybody it's got no oil filter on it. Sorry, Joel. And Joel's the guy from, Joel Mendoza is the guy at Iceman Collections you want to contact if you want to buy some of his motors. Highly recommend them. And we're working on one of his SRT Hellcat Elephant Demon motors. We're going to try and machine some pulleys for it too. We're working on it in the background. Yep, but if you guys want a nice kit to build, I'd highly recommend it. Everything went together straightforward. And that brings us to the end, and I need to decide on what the next kit's going to be. And as usual, I got a couple in mind. I got to figure out a motor I want to stick that Hellcat motor from Iceman Collection in. And I got a couple in mind. And I got to do a project for my son. He's got a friend that's got a car that he wants me to make a model of, so I've kind of got one of those in my stash, but I need to get my hands on some more pictures of his one-to-one car to do that up. So I got a couple of things going to be on the go here. Whether we do both at the same time, I'm not much of a build more than one car at a time guy. I like to concentrate on one car at a time. Hang on. Excuse me. We'll get you guys up to speed in the next week or so on what the next build is going to be, or what the next couple projects are going to be. But yeah, I'm happy the way this one turned out. It's got a nice stance to it. It's down low the way I like them. I've got wheels tucked in the wheel wells and fenders. And she's pretty low. That's about all the modifications that we've done to it. Most of it's in the engine compartment. And I didn't do any decals on this. I kind of hummed and hawed about some of the decals that come in the kit, but the more I look at them, the more I don't want to do any decals. I want it to more like a street car rather than a track car. Or a street car that you can take on the track. But anyway, guys and gals, thanks for stopping by. We'll call this one a done deal. And we'll talk to you soon, get you up to speed on what the new project's going to be. And as usual, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. See ya.